So these are those quadratic type equations. So we're going to do some u substitution. We're just going to say u equals, in this case, this is the hint, that's the value that you want it to equal. Now this is x squared squared plus 8x squared plus 15 equals 0. So if I said u equals x squared, this becomes u squared plus 8u plus 15. Now the reason why we call it a quadratic type equation is by using the substitution, it now looks like a quadratic equation. So now a times c, 15, factors of 15 that add to 8 would be 3 and 5. So I can say u plus 3u, so u squared plus 3u plus 5u plus 15, factored by grouping. So I get u plus 5, and then I get u plus 3. So set each equal to 0. So I get u equals negative 5, and I get u equals negative 3. And so now I can substitute back in. So I get x equals plus or minus root 5i. X equals plus or minus root 3i. For this one, you can say u equals x minus 4. So this becomes u squared minus 2u minus 3. For this one's a little invisible, but I can think of that as 2 over 2, which is x to the 1/2 squared. So my u is actually x to the 1/2. So this becomes u squared plus 4u minus 12 equals 0, which then a times c, 12 factors that add to 4 would be 6 and 2. So u plus 6, u minus 2. So you get u equals negative 6, and then u equals 2. So if I substitute it back in, square it is what gets rid of the 1/2, or something to the 1/2 power. That's the same thing as a square root. Just something to think about. And so you're going to get x equals 36. And then likewise here, x to the 1/2 equals 2, square it, and you're going to get x equals 4. For this one, u equals 1/3, or x to the 1/3. This one, x to the negative 1, that's going to equal u. Just kind of showing that one a little bit more. This would be u squared minus 6 times u plus 9. This factors into u minus 3 times u minus 3. So u equals 3, if I set each one equal to 0. X to the negative 1 equals 3. Well, this is 1 over x, right? We have to move it over the denominator. So then multiply both sides by x, divide both sides by 3. For each parabola, write it in vertex form and find the following information. These are very similar to some of the previous lessons. Remember, to put it into vertex form, we have to group the x's together, b over 2 squared, etc. In the following exercise, use the pair of functions to find these values. Now remember, the point is we need to write it out first. This is the same as f of 2 plus g of 2. This is f of 1/2 times g of 1/2. This is not saying these are multiplied by 1/2. In function notation, it's what you're plugging in. This is f of 0 over g of 0. This is g of negative 2 over f of negative 2. So having said that, if I wanted to find, let's just say this one, f of 0 would be the square root of 4 minus 0 over g of 0, which would be the square root of 0 plus 2. So this is the square root of 4 over the square root of 2. It's going to be 2 over root 2. Multiply top and bottom by root 2. So equals root 2. For this one, we could probably easily overthink it. So f of 2 plus g of 2. So this becomes root 2 plus 4, or root 4, which is root 2 plus 2. You can't combine them together, just leave them separate. This one right here, g of negative 2. So that's g of negative 2, which is, if I the square root of negative 2 plus 2 over f of negative 2, so that's going to be the square root of 4 minus negative 2. So that's going to be 0 over root 6, which equals 0.